Why was the air? Was that more like the majority of the Tomcat fleet at the time?
It really wasn't the Tomcats. It was a very weird time in the Navy. So when I originally went to flight school, graduated in '89, that was the very tail end of the Reagan administration. Now, you're into the Bush administration, President Bush. And under President Reagan, the goal was a 600 ship Navy, 15 carrier air wings. We were going to buy the F-14D. Every air wing was going to, had two F-14 squadrons. You had sister squadrons. So that was kind of the 88, 89 time frame. As you get into 91 and 92, now the Berlin Wall has fallen. The Soviet Union has become less of a threat. And we were having the discussions about, quote unquote, the peace dividend and what the Navy was going to look like. Well, it was not going to be 100 ships. It was not going to be 15 carrier air wings. The F-14D they were building them at the time, but the program was kind of in limbo. The aircraft that they were going to use to replace the A6 had been canceled. That was the second generation of the A12. That had been canceled. So you had a situation where the F-14 community was beginning to downsize, where instead of having two squadrons, and I want to say that each squadron would have about 10 or 12 aircraft where you had these two sister squadrons, they would take one of the squadrons and decommission it and roll about half of their airplanes into what we were calling super Tomcat squadrons, which would be 14 or more aircraft. And I got to see both flavors of that. So absolutely. I wouldn't say that the F-14 was the majority, but definitely the up-and-coming community, and the only community that was growing in carrier aviation at the time was the FA-18 community.